Since you're on speakerphone, I gave the gavel to Hugh.
Okay.
So let me turn it up here. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Will.
Hey, well,
Oh, I like this shit.
I'll do the meeting. I'll start the meeting right now. I guess our first item is the approval of minutes for the July 20th and the July 27th work session.
I move that we accept the minutes for the July 20th meeting as mailed. And you-
I'll second.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry, Ted.
no, you needed to do that, because you and I are the only one there. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll second that then.
Okay.
So it's moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the July 20th regular meeting. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
I now move that we approve minutes for July 27th, Veterans Commission meeting.
I'll second that.
So moved and seconded we approve minutes of the July 27th work session. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any agenda revisions?
The only agenda revision is that I will be taking over the contractor pre-qualifications for Dennis.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
We have no agenda revisions, or
Just the one.
okay. I guess the next thing is the business items, Upper Fairview Water System update.
Okay. As you know, July 1st, we were told by the Department of Ecology that we were supposed to find a different source of water for the Upper Fairview 550 or so customers. Basically due to the fact that we have the 25 CFS limit in our water right, and because of the fisheries issues. Let's see. Just talk a little bit more about our plan. Our plan was, or is, to pump water from the 3 wells that we have down here, our existing Bluffs well, and our brand new Bobcat Hollow and Old Olympic Highway wells. Right now, we're just using the 2 new wells, and we're pumping up to our Deer Park Reservoir. From there, we want to pump, we have a pump set up at the Deer Park Reservoir to pump up to our next pressure reducing station, which is basically right here. And then from there, we pump up to the next pressure reducing station, which is right here. And from there, we pump all the way up to our Township Line Road Reservoir. And just to kind of show you what we've done is this is our Deer Park Reservoir pump station. The reservoir is just over here off the page. And basically this is suction piping from the reservoir, goes to the pump, and then it pumps it out to the next high side of the pressure reducing station just above the reservoir. Here's another shot. It looks pretty familiar after looking at the first one. All 3 pump stations are basically the same. We've got suction piping connected to the low side of the pressure reducing station, goes to the pump and pumps up the hill. These are the electrical equipment that we needed to purchase to do this work. We actually had the existing pumps in our stock. They were spares for the HOCO and the CQ pump stations.
Are they right in the road there?
They are very close to the road, and we are intending to put some temporary fencing around them.
Oh, okay,
But
good.
right now, temporary fencing is at a premium.
Oh, really?
You can't find it. We've been looking.
Well, we're gonna get it covered up so people don't run over it, right?
It's far enough off the road that no one should be running over it.
Oh,
What if they're aiming at it?
Exactly.
Let's hope not.
How long you lived here?
And here's the upper pump station up by Pelican Road. It's basically the same as the others. Suction piping on the right, discharge piping on the left. And all these pump stations are pumping up to our Deer Park, or excuse me, our Township Line Road reservoir, the 300,000 gallon reservoir. We started this pumping scenario on Thursday afternoon, and it's been running extremely well ever since. So at this point, we're recommending that we reduce the stage 4 water restrictions to a stage 3 as of today.
That's great.
My comment, what's the reservoir level looking like?
Well, it's full right now, and we've been keeping it full.
Ah, good.
And the treatment plant is completely shut down. So we're
How
ready.
do you keep monitoring that though? Do these guys keep
Well-
calling in saying that they need more water or?
No, we have a SCADA system, and it monitors that reservoir.
Really?
So we can see the reservoir level. We can't do any adjustments remotely, but if there's an adjustment that needs to be made, we can see it on the reservoir level.
Okay.
And we'll be monitoring that pretty closely.
I was
for
just
the
gonna
next
say, I
couple
hope you guys are
months.
monitoring that to make sure you keep the level up.
Yes.
So that's your suggestion, then, that we reduce it from a 4 to a class 3?
That's correct.
What's that procedure entail?
Basically what that is every other day watering. So it's odd, even days. If you've got odd property address, you're on the odd day. Even, you're on the even day. And there's still, we're still asking folks to conserve as much as they can, just in general.
Yeah, that's obviously a drought situation. We should be using water wisely. Do we need to notify the Department of Ecology? Do they need to be involved in this thing?
We'll notify them what we're going to do. And the Department of Health.
Yeah.
But they've already indicated they agree with this
That's-
category.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, they're the one that put us under the August 1st restriction.
That's right. Of course, you're assuming that they're consistent, but that's okay. Okay.
And you're gonna get some protective fencing around this stuff as soon as you can.
That's our plan, yeah.
Okay, good, okay.
But we do have the authority to lift that stage 4.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Do we need to take an action to do that, or?
I think
I think
just,
we have.
just basically your motion is enough.
Well, I move then that we reduce the, just change it from stage 4 to stage 3, and, can we, provide these people with, a written, description of what stage 3 entitlement or entails, what it really is?
We can, we were planning on putting out a press release, and it's in there as to what we're asking.
Well, I'll second Ted's motion.
It's been moved and seconded, we approve the removal of the class 4 classification to a class 3. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mike, are you're manually monitoring this through the SCADA system? Are you having to keep people on after hours to do that? Are they doing it on their computers or what?
Typically, I watch it on my computer at home.
Ah, okay.
And if we need to, I'll call someone in.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
What, do you normally do the monitoring? I mean, actually, if we have to increase it a little bit, do you actually do it, or do you gotta have someone else do it?
We have to send someone out, one of the
Okay,
crew.
okay, good.
Mike, the commissioners asked about notifying everyone. It's available on the website. We're gonna do a press release. We're also doing robocalls that start shortly after this meeting, whenever Mike tells them to start making the robocalls. And that has information as well on when the alternating watering is. So we're doing multiple things.
And those calls should start right after this meeting.
Okay, good. Yeah, this meeting shouldn't have lasted that long, so. Okay, next item is contractors. Do you have any, well, actually, why don't I open it up for questions? Any questions? Well, there is some questions. Go ahead.
Yes, same question that I had, that you had about the vulnerability of those pump stations sitting out there, because they look pretty vulnerable from maybe some, not only fencing, but some post barriers that would prevent people from driving all the way through it. So I'm glad you're going to do that, because it looks pretty vulnerable from.
I think, I agree with that. I mean, there has to be some protection put around those things. I guess there's a problem with the county, though, of how protected we can be, right?
They're pretty sensitive about it putting in bollards, so I don't know if they'll let us do that, but I'll ask.
Okay, good, okay.
Can you drop a Jersey barrier in front of each one or something? That
Well,
might be
that's part of the
easier.
problem. They like it to be breakaway.
Oh, okay.
Jersey barriers don't break
He's
away.
he's gonna see what they'll want us to put in. Go ahead.
Same issue, I just wanted to say I live up on Township Line and my mailbox is in the back of my house, it's a monster truck, so it's amuses.
That's what worries me too. And I hate to see all this go to waste because someone ran over the pumping station and all that.
Just look at the number of utility poles we've had sheared off, so.
Yeah.
It seems like we could get the county to agree to something.
I'll see what we can do.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, and thank you for getting this going and going forward with this. My question is, as I have studied this process, I look at a lot of moving parts. Seems like there's fisheries, the PUD, Department of Ecology, the Department of State, and I am wondering where you feel we are most vulnerable going forward, other than God and the lack of rain.
Well, I think that the key is trying to make this a little permanent. I mean, we got security issues and all that, but I assume we also want to install some permanency to this, because if this happens again next year, we want to make sure that we can keep monitoring this, keep it going.
Yeah, permanency and automation, I think is kind of the key.
Yeah, you don't want to keep monitoring this forever.
So I don't think you answered my question. So my question was, there are a lot of different agencies involved in this process, and there seem to be roadblocks all along the way. And I'm just wondering are we all good now with everybody? You had August 1st as a deadline. I'm not sure who imposed that deadline, whether it was, the Department of Ecology. Mike, could you speak to that maybe, please?
Yeah, the Department of Ecology is who imposed the deadline, but they were acting on recommendations of the Department of Fish and Wildlife. So, I mean, those are gonna be issues that we're gonna be facing for the next few hundred years, I think.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Similar line, similar question, but along the permanency issue. One, I know we had heard all kinds of dollars that could or would have or might have been spent. We don't know what the permanent solution might be, or does there have to be a subsequent feasibility study? Where do we go? That's the first question. What's the process to keep it moving forward? Really appreciate the work that's been done, but didn't want to let up on the effort. And then secondly, there was talk early on about rate adjustments, rate assessments to the individuals who live in the area. How do we get more details on this, or how do we keep apprised of this effort so we see it through and we can be supportive of it?
We'll be doing a feasibility study to guide us on the next step, and it looks real promising to do what we're doing, just more permanent.
Right.
I'm hoping that we don't have to go to the separate line, because that's hugely expensive.
Oh, I know. We're gonna try and make this, as permanent as we can. Maybe improvements in the pumping and all that. And again, definitely the barriers around the systems. But that should be a lot less expensive than trying to put in permanent lines and all that.
Okay, so the $10 million.
Yeah, we're not going out to spend the $10 million.
No, but I mean, that was thrown out there earlier, but
That's what
that
it
would
costs.
have been all new lines and everything. So
Exactly.
this is acceptable and works, and.
So as long as this works and we can make it sort of permanent, then we're gonna try that.
Right, and we'll be learning for the next 2 or 3 months how well this is actually gonna pan out.
Any other? Okay, go ahead.
Are we gonna be going back to Morse Creek
Yes.
as a source?
Right.
I was just curious, and again, thanks for all the efforts. I've seen folks out working late to make this happen, so thank you very much. So we reduced it from stage 4 to stage 3. Do we anticipate it staying at stage 3 then unless we get rains, or is stage 3 the new norm from this point forward?
Good question. I don't know. We're just gonna have to see how this goes, I think, more so than anything.
And your department did do a great job getting this thing. I followed it also through the contractors and all the other, and you guys really did a good job.
Thank you. They did a good job pulling it all together.
I'll change gears here slightly. I know the PUD, has rebate programs, for lots of, electricity saving devices and things of that nature. Some of us would like to see a rebate program for the installation of rainwater collecting tanks on our property so that we could in fact collect water when it's abundant and use it without any impact, on the PUD's water system, during times such as these. The city of Port Angeles, for instance, has a rebate program for, 50-gallon water containers. I guess we're interested in things considerably larger than that, on the order of several thousand gallons. And we'd like to propose that, that you institute a program like that.
And we certainly can and will talk about that, but if you understand the way the PUD works and the water system, we'd be taking money out of his pocket to build you a rain barrel. You're self-funded. We just help you manage your money, so to say, or manage the system that belongs to you. So the money for rebates comes from you. And I guess I believe that if you can keep government out of something, it works a lot better. It would be less expensive for you to build a system than it would be for us to collect money and loan it to you, or incentivize you in some way, because it's your money to begin with.
I guess
we certainly
you
could
have other comments. Oh, excuse me, go ahead.
Go ahead, Will. I'd say we can sure talk.
Well, I'm just, the ecology doesn't like the intersection of rainwater. I think if you got up to thousands of gallons, you'd run afoul of ecology.
Yeah, that is true.
Actually, if you go to their website now, they're encouraging harvesting of water. And, in the past, I don't think they were necessarily, but if you look at their website, it's encouraging people to do that. They do reserve the right
Do what, though? I know
to harvest water.
50-gallon rain barrel is one issue, but thousands of gallons is another. I don't know what their current position is with the drought, but be interested to find out.
Well,
But I think that it's kind of part of the answer to the lady in the back who wondered where our next threat might come from. And it's kind of the notion of some of our agencies. It's you do it one way this day and the next day they got a different attitude, they allow it. I guess I was surprised. The rainwater that came off of my roof belonged to the state. And it's been running down my back around here for all my life. And I always thought it was kind of mine. I was catching it, but then they all of a sudden changed their mind.
They do offer remediation financial assistance for septic systems via the state through our Department of Health. But so I don't know if they would ever offer, as you said, rebates or something from the state that filters on through that wouldn't be our money going to the neighbors' reserve. I don't know that they have it. I don't know if they'd consider it, but I know they do it for septic systems to protect their water.
A little perspective on rainwater collection. I've got an 1,150 gallon barrel. It was illegal but unenforced when I put it in back in '06 or something. I live in a very small house. It's about the size of a 2-car garage, and it takes a little over 2 inches of rain on the roof to fill it. And last weekend's rain half filled it, which saved the rain.
I think that's their position now. It's actually illegal, but they don't enforce it. But they could.
I was under the impression that it's no longer illegal.
Actually, I spoke to the Department of Ecology, and it is not illegal. Yeah, it's not. So, and there's no restriction on the amount. The only thing they informed me of is that at some future date, they might want to understand how much water is being collected, whether that be through a permit system or something like that. But as of when I spoke to them, there's no restriction by the state of ecology in collecting rainwater.
Good. That's the way it is today.
Okay, I guess it's answered all the questions. It's sort of nice to know that we don't have stage 400 class 4 anymore. So I guess we can go to the next item.
Okay. So the next item is reapplications for Ken Riendo Excavating and C&J Excavating. These are contractors that have been on our small works roster in the past, and they're just reapplying, and we so recommend that they be allowed to be on our small works roster list.
Well, I move that we approve pre-qualification of contractors on the listed date, August the 3rd, 2015, for inclusion on the small works roster.
And I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve Ken Riendo and C&J Excavating as to be added to our small works roster. All those in favor, say aye.
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 I have comments from the public again, in case someone wants to speak. Okay, doesn't look like it. Notice how quickly everyone left once we said there's no more class 4.
They're all gonna go water.
That's right.
Only half of them. Only half of them, yeah.
Correspondence communication.
Just to note that there's no work session on August 10th. That's been canceled. And also, if you happen to have seen it, we got some free public publicity. Giles Cobb was in the Rants and Raves. Did you notice that in the paper?
I noticed it, and congratulations on that one.
Yeah, no.
30 years.
Yeah, he found someone's wallet and returned it, and not only he, but we got great publicity on it, so it can't beat that.
Great.
And that's all I have for communication.
Then we got the approval of claim vouchers, June 27th and August 3rd.
Yeah. First, I will tell you that the date on June 37th, July 27th, thing was wrong. I don't know. Somebody must have changed it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you've got July 27th on both of those.
Yeah, someone changed it, yeah.
I have July 20th and both mine.
Oh, really?
That's all.
Kind of a random deal.
Yeah, anyway, that's the July 27th. Oh, let me get the amount.
Is the amount?
It's 3 million, yeah, the amount's okay. 3,031,185.84.
Okay.
And August 3rd, 203,242.39.
Okay, thanks.
Well, I'll move that, claim vouchers for the 27th, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Be approved in the amount of $3,031,185, and what was the cents?
84.
84 cents.
What is that? Well, you mean for August 3rd or July 27th?
July 27th.
Okay, 84, okay.
That's 27, yeah.
I don't have the other one, so you better read it.
Okay, I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded that we approve claim vouchers for July 27 in the amount of $3,031,185.84.
All in favor, please say aye.
All in favor, say aye.
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 And I'll move that we approve claim vouchers for the August 3rd in the amount of $203,242.39.
And I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded, we approve claim vouchers for the 3rd of August in the amount of $203,242.39. All in favor, say aye.
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 Well, on anything of PUD interest to report, I went fishing, caught lots of fish, got soaking wet.
That probably felt real good, didn't
Had
it?
a lot of fun.
In this weather.
It was 90 degrees here, and it was about 64, 63, 64 degrees in Sitka.
Oh.
Cloudy and rainy.
You caught a lot of fish, huh? Oh, good. And I don't have anything either.
Well, I didn't catch any fish, but I'm off having some fun anyway. Anyway, nothing really to report.
Okay, staff reports?
Any staff reports?
Well,
So I guess we're done. Anybody come up with anything else? How about you? Did you got something to add?
Nope.
We're done.